Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Wide World on Money FM 89.3.
You know, the world of hospitality is one that is ever evolving, and we knew that, during COVID, of course, things were really lousy for it. It has really come back with a vengeance, though. But in addition to just the numbers of people traveling, it's a more complicated world that we live in, a lot of geopolitical, economic shifts, things that, we haven't really dealt with before. So how do we train the leaders of tomorrow in the hospitality industry to navigate the changes while giving top-level service to guests and people that would want to use those services? Joining us now is Dr. Luciano Lopez. He is the Managing Director of EHL Campus in Singapore and the Associate Dean of EHL Hospitality Business School. EHL, of course, is a renowned institution to train the people in the hospitality business. And Luciano, great to have you in the studio. Welcome.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, audience.
Lots happening in the world today. I mean, we don't necessarily need to go into current geopolitics, but how is that something that you think about at EHL and something that you are kind of talking to your students about?
We must. I think if you want to be and stay at the number one school in the world, you need to be constantly looking at what's happening out there. And in the hospitality world or the service industry world, the geopolitics do affect our industry. Yeah. So you need to understand how. But geopolitics, I would say, is one of the factors, not the main one. The main one is the change in the consumer behavior. Do you want sustainability more than before? Do you want tech more than before? So all those questions, you need to look into it.
Yeah, isn't it funny? I mean, just in a few years, we've seen everybody go from individual shampoo bottles and soaps to now the refillable ones. We've seen next to the bedside at the higher end hotels, all of the plug-ins for your USB-C and your USB to charge things. I mean, there are those
water bottles.
The water bottles, those trends are really quite noticeable. Is that the kind of thing that you're referring to?
I mean, definitely. And what's funny is that the consumers are changing their willingness to pay for sustainability or sustainable hotels, but not all practices. So what we do at EHL is also with our research institutes, we try to identify what practices really lead to the consumers being more satisfied. Because I can tell you, if you look at the research from EHL professors, that some practices that you have out there are actually doing the opposite effect. For instance, I feel less safe if you reuse water, for instance. So you need to be careful in what you do and how you communicate your practices.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, speaking of communication, for the benefit of our listeners who may not be familiar with the hospitality sector, two things. What does EHL do, and why did you set up in Singapore?
Excellent question. So let me start with the acronym EHL. So I know Singaporeans, they love acronyms. EHL is Ecole, hôtelière de Lausanne. It's a French word, but we are not a French school. We are a Swiss school located in the French part of Switzerland. 130 years plus existence.
Wow.
I think we have transitioned from hotel school to hospitality business school. And 4 years ago, we thought maybe it's time to become international. So we have opened our first campus outside of Switzerland, and we decided to come to Singapore. So why Singapore? A lot of investigation. We had, I think, 3 locations at the end, all in APAC region. APAC is 60% of the population. You find in APAC the countries that are growing the most. So it was evident for us to come APAC, and also for political reasons. Maybe you understand, maybe one of the other countries we were looking at, for political reasons, stability, we decided to come here in Singapore.
Yeah, I understand you have about 160 students currently. Is around that? Is that
in
accurate?
Singapore, we have over the year 160, 180 students for the bachelor degree. But the bachelor degree is our flagship. Is the program that has been ranked number 1 in the world since the last 7 years.
Wow.
However, we educate from apprenticeship to doctorate.
What is the bachelor's degree? What is it called, and what do people study?
Excellent question. It's international hospitality management. What does it mean? We educate the future leaders of not only the hospitality industry. Actually, only 50% of our students end up in the hospitality industry. And the 50 other percent, they end up in the service industry. So we also educate the future leaders of the finance industry. And why? Because if you think about all those kind of services, before it was just a pure service, and you didn't care about how you were welcomed in the bank. You didn't care how you were welcomed at the dentist. And nowadays you care. You want to have an hospitality experience everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So this is also a reason why our students are not only in the hotel or hospitality industry anymore.
And when you say it's a bachelor's degree, I think university, is this something that students would do instead of going to a 3 or 4 year university? They would come to EHL and get is it a 4 year degree or a 4 year program?
It is a 4 year program. And I think what makes us different as compared to other business schools is that the first year is practical arts. We believe at EHL that if you want to be a sound and care leader in the future, you need to understand the business from A to Z.
Yeah.
So the first year, you learn how to cook, how to make a room, how to do the service.
Good.
And then you learn how to manage, how to lead those teams that will cook, do the rooms, and do the service. And this is, I think, our main differentiator.
And is that an internship type program? They would go out to a hotel or a service industry?
First year, 6 months on campus in Lausanne, wonderful campus, many F&B outlets.
Nothing wrong with Lausanne at all.
Exactly. And then they go to the internship 6 months before starting the pure business degree 3 years. Yes.
Interesting.
That's in Switzerland and Singapore, they go to Lausanne, or do you do it here in Singapore?
The full program in Singapore, no.
Okay, so what do they do
must
the
go to
first year
Lausanne.
here? Do they still do so they go to Lausanne from here?
First year and second year in Lausanne, and then they can come to Singapore for the third year. And the last year, again in Lausanne.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what do they do in Singapore?
So in Singapore, we focus on the integration of the skills that have acquired the first 2 years in Lausanne. Why is it interesting? It's because they have enough business knowledge to look at Asian business cases, Asian leadership. So this is what we can bring to them, this Asian or cultural awareness about Asia, APAC region.
Fascinating. So they study hospitality case studies in the region.
We do believe in education that is hands-on. So we look at case studies, at examples. We work a lot with the industry. The companies here, the hotels here, the service industry here, they know us now in Singapore, and they try to get our students as much as possible.
Yeah, in the studio with us now, Luciano Lopez, Managing Director of EHL, the campus here in Singapore, and Associate Dean of EHL Hospitality Business School. What kind of students are you attracting that come to the Singapore campus? As you just mentioned, obviously some of them, they go to Lausanne first and come here. But what does the student makeup look like these days for EHL?
So in Singapore, it's very interesting because I realized that the students that come the most to Singapore are the curious one. You know, if you want to have stability, you stay in Lausanne 4 years. It's safe, you know the environment. But then you have those kind of students like me. I also did an exchange when I was a bachelor student that want to learn more, that are interested, that are not scared to new cultures. So on campus in Singapore, you have, as at EHL, a diversity in nationalities. EHL is about 120 nationalities. And I think in Singapore, out of the 160 students you mentioned earlier, we are looking at maybe 30 nationalities. So it's really a cosmopolitan environment in Singapore.
How has hospitality training changed? Because hospitality itself has changed tremendously, particularly after the pandemic.
Yeah.
So how has the training changed?
So I would say I see three main changes. Sustainability, how to embrace this. I do not believe that sustainability is a topic you can teach. It's a transversal knowledge that you can apply to everything you do. And then you have technology. Technology is really something that you can kill your business if you don't understand how to integrate technology. If you believe that technology should replace human interactions, you will fail. And the last one is probably the most important. You have to be sharp with your service. You see the competition with service apartments or locations where you don't need someone to welcome you. So if you go somewhere where you expect a welcoming, it has to be sharp. It has to be good. It has to be amazing. So this is where the students need to be careful, and the industry needs to be careful.
Tell us, Luciano, tell us about the campus, because it's a beautiful campus just off of Orange Grove Road, near right near Orchard and Nassim Road, and kind of in that belt. Tell us about the campus, because it's a beautiful old physical structure as well, but you have updated it quite a lot.
I have an emotion every time I enter the building.
Really?
Yeah, the building is amazing. As soon as you enter, you push the door, you can feel something.
It was a historic building. What was it before? Do you know?
Yes, it was actually a private house.
That was a house?
That was a house. That was a house.
I thought it was a school or something, maybe.
That was a house, gosh. I think.
Colonial
yeah,
house.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then just before us was an insurance that did a lot of spending to make the building look great. So we have benefited from there. But please, come by. The door is open. Have a look, and you will feel.
It's on Lady Hill Road, which is just off of Orange Grove Road. When you go on the campus, what kind of facilities do you have there? I know you have classrooms and things, but how to break it down for us? What does the campus look like?
Well, it remains a small campus. If you see it as a university, we have 5 classrooms. From 40 students to 100 students in terms of size. We have a wonderful gallery area where we, of course, want to have our events. EHL is also about F&B and events. And then we have a cafeteria for the students. But that's pretty much it. So small campus, some, of course, open space for the staff.
Yeah.
I'm curious to come back to the point you just made about technology, Luciano. How are your students having to adapt to work with technology and not have technology, let's be honest, replace them? So how are you dealing with that?
So it's really a matter of teaching the students how to use technology to create an even better experience for the guests. So what we need to do is, of course, our professors need to stay updated with the latest technologies. I can give you an example. If you want to use AI, well, maybe use AI to be able to greet your customer in the way that the customer feels. Is the customer upset? Is the customer in a rush? So this is a good usage of AI. So this is what we need to teach the students. So the tools that exist, share with them, learn with them, because to be honest, we also learn all together with the new technologies, and then see how this can fit the hospitality industry to not replace human interactions, but enhance human interactions.
And is it a case of just simple, that human experience, that human interaction? Because there are hotel chains in the UK, I believe Australia, I'm guessing the US and elsewhere, that are entirely automated now.
Yes.
There are no human beings. They're cheap. They're cheap. They're low-end hotels. You go in, you go to a machine like an ATM, you put in your credit card, you get your hotel key. There is no human interaction at all at these sort of budget chain hotels. How are you dealing with these kind of automated changes?
Before COVID, I was also asking myself, is the hospitality industry going to die? And we just go to places where we sleep, we don't need to meet anyone. And I was a bit sad because I was working at EHL. And then COVID came, and I think the entire population in the world realized that human interaction is what makes us humans. So to have seen that, to have seen after COVID such a boom in service-oriented experiences, made me realize that the hospitality industry, it's a small segment, the one that you mentioned, Neil, but the majority of the people, we look for emotions, and emotions are given by humans.
Couldn't agree more.
We're talking with Luciano Lopez, the Managing Director for EHL Campus in Singapore and the Associate Dean of the EHL Hospitality School. When we look at hospitality around Asia, and it's so hard to, of course, say Asia because of many different cultures, many countries. But, having myself lived in Tokyo and Hong Kong and here, if you go, the attention to personal service and detail is really quite extraordinary. And it's very different from the old school European sort of hospitality interaction and things. And, in so many ways, the Asian hospitality is just, I find it's much more personal, much more accommodating. I don't know if that's the right word. Having just said that, how do you respond to that? Do you feel the same way? Is it different is hospitality different in Asia than it is maybe in North America or in Europe?
I'm so glad you say this, Glenn. You just described our vision with our campus.
I didn't know that.
At EHL in Singapore, because our vision is combining Swiss excellence with Asian refinement. Because we do believe that what you just said is true. In Asia, you have this ability, some countries, more than others, to be honest, have this ability to refine the service to the point where you have the impression that they know you. They know what you were expecting, and they know how to take you and to create with you an emotion that you will always remember. So in that sense, I do believe that Europe and the US have something to learn from Asia. And combining the both, the excellence, the processes maybe that are a bit more in place in Europe, combining both is I believe the future of hospitality. Excellence from Europe, Swiss excellence with Asian refinement.
Such an interesting point that you make about processes. This could just be anecdotal, but when I go to an Asian hotel, Singaporean hotel, they have more staff on the counter, which means the queues are shorter. Then I stay in London hotels, very first world problems. I went to a very nice London hotel last year. I was queuing for ages because they did not have the staff. So it's the little process details like that. And that London hotel was much more expensive than the hotels I stay in Asia. And yet it's quicker, it's smoother, it's often friendlier. Why is that? Is it a process issue?
Look, Asian refinement, how do you do that? You may do that with staff, with people. And I'm an economist myself. So labor cost is completely different in the tour part of the world. So that's why processes are super strong in Europe and the US. US labor cost is okay, but Europe, for instance, Switzerland is just impossible. So you need clear processes so that you try to mitigate the waiting queue, the waiting time, etc. And in Asia, that's also what I like. It's just because people are available, people are here to welcome you. So to answer your question, I think it's just a matter of costs.
Because it is ultimately those little things, isn't it? You can have a mattress is a mattress, a bathroom is a bathroom. It's the queuing, it's the waiting time, it's how long you wait for your luggage, it's how long you wait for a concierge. It is those things ultimately that a guest will remember.
Absolutely. They just remember those kind of details. They will not remember if... I don't know, where was the chair in the room. They remember those kind of experiences. And funny story, yesterday I was at Changi for dinner to say bye to my sister, flying back to Switzerland. And I realized that the process is something that is maybe missing here in this part of the world, in the sense that I wanted to order something that was on the physical menu, but not on the digital menu. What a mess. I had to explain to the manager, look, if it's not in the digital menu, maybe you just put the amount in the system so that the finance department does not give you a red card. But those kind of details show that, again, we have still to learn from the two parts of the world.
Don't get me started. Now you are singing my song. I do not like digital menus. I do not like QR codes. What is so wrong with a good old-fashioned tactile, physical experience? Show me a menu. Let me choose myself. Let me order. Am I wrong to think that way? So many places now in Singapore, I go there, QR code, take out your phone. Scan the menu. It's like, I can do that, but I don't know.
But this is interesting to me because
I don't know.
You know, when you look across different experiences in different countries, Singapore is very very rules driven, right? If it's not on the menu, sorry, you know, we can't do substitutions, we can't do all this. You know, if you look at other places like the Philippines or Thailand, it's, you know, people are like, I'm going to make that happen for you. No
ask
problem,
whatever.
Right?
Ask a tortilla.
Whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
And then
so
you
true.
go to Japan and you have a refinement, you know, not to be too cliche about it, but a quiet refinement that is different than all the other experiences put together, but very accommodating. So, I mean, it must be fascinating from an educational standpoint for you to be able to tap on all of these different experiences to bring them to your students. Do your students respond and understand the differences between these different cultures?
I think they do, and that's the purpose of EHL, and with 120 nationalities, we are able to do that with the students in the classroom, explaining how their culture works.
Right.
And, you know, I think the main objective should be, if I can make this client happy without compromising the other clients because, for instance, they have to wait for me to make you happy.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And part of that's empowerment, like empowering staff to solve problems.
Absolutely.
And that we still find there's a huge gap in different, not only in hotels, but also the service industry in general, on aircraft, wherever, right? There's problem solvers, and I think that, like, Singapore Airlines is very good at that. You ask anybody for something, and they can help you do it. You know,
Absolutely.
I need a pillow, I need a this or that. Doesn't matter who it is. It's their job, whether it is or not. You know,
Absolutely.
like it's interesting in Asia because I tell you, in North America, it doesn't happen like that. Oh, hey, not my job. I'll get somebody else to do it for you.
Forget it.
Right?
I remember being in Indonesia. I didn't see anything vegetarian. I'm vegetarian on the menu. I will take care of that. We'll make you something vegetarian.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And I'll go back. I'll keep going back to that place. So speaking of going back, a Singaporean listening to this, they're interested in getting into hospitality business. Why should they go to EHL?
Well, if you want to become a leader in the future that leads with care, passion, and human interactions at the center, please do join EHL.
How should they get in touch? Where should they go?
Website ehl.edu for education. You find all the information, and then you can also find pages for the Singapore campus and the Swiss campuses.
Yeah, the picture for the Singapore campus, you'll see that it's just gorgeous. You can't believe, if you go on their homepage, that this was somebody's house at some point in time. Like, unreal.
Glenn, I had to get rid of it. I couldn't keep it anymore.
It was hard to find good help.
The upkeep, the gardening, the hospitality, I had to sell it. And EHL gave me a good offer. What can I say?
There you go. Our thanks to Luciano Lopez, Managing Director of EHL Campus in Singapore. Thanks for being with us today. Really interesting.
A true pleasure. Thank you so much.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.